Tech lessons learned in the SPED classroom. My goal is to empower my students to become employable, contributing citizens to their communities, whether living independently, with family, or a group home. The following few slides show the necessity as to why I must empower my students to be successful. 1 in 4 women and 3 in 10 minorities have a disability. Disability costs $400 billion each year. 1 in 3 unemployed adults have a disability, and 4 in 10 adults who do not graduate have a disability. 83% of families report that their family member with an intellectual disability is unemployed. We need to empower our students with intellectual disabilities through technology and integration of e-portfolios. In the area of work-based learning, paper and pencil doesn't get it. My students need technology to be successful. Benefits of technology include the ability to communicate, decreased anxiety, and a feeling of accomplishment. When I introduced e-portfolios to my students, they were frustrated. They did not have buy-in to the e-portfolio. I had to make some changes. I decided to have the students create a website, giving them the authority to create the first 2 pages how they desired. They are now happy and ready for the next step. One of the potential drawbacks was the issue of FERPA. However, with parents' signed agreements, the digital show is on the go. So many times my students are left behind because they are not allowed the use of technology for fear they will cause damage. My students have a right to learn just as those students in general education. It may not be at the same rate, but they will succeed. One way to make my students who go off campus for job training skills is through the use of video modeling. Once the student is filmed performing a task, the student and I can review and see if there may be easier ways to complete the task. Through the use of e-portfolios, my students can show a potential employer their accomplishments through job training. The biggest gift for me is to see my students employed in their community. My students will have successful employability skills given the first step of incorporating e-portfolios. Watch the rest fall into place. The following slide is a list of the references I used for the pictures as well as the content.